All right, guys, welcome back. We're finishing up the bad boy mower tune-up. We did the transmissions last week. So today we're going to do the engine oil, grease it, check the tire pressures, and finish it up. Clean the deck and everything else, adjust the tracking, the levers, and we get her done. All right, first thing I like to do is fire up the engine and get it up to temperature, get a little heat in the oil, and then drain the oil when it's warm. It helps to get all the dirt and deposits that are in the engine out. And yeah, so I'll get it fired up and get it warmed up here. You gotta love the old Kohler. All right, guys, so I ran it for a few minutes, got some heat in the motor so we can drain the oil. All right, so guys, what you're gonna do, you're gonna take this nut, this cap off. I'm not sure, let me check and see what size it is. And all right, guys, I just got out 2 crescent wrenches. Just be careful you don't round the bolt on either side. Now that this thing is hot, be careful. I mean, I about bumped the muffler right there, that white spot. Let's see, that little white spot on the back of my knuckle. That's from hitting the muffler, so be very careful reaching under here with it hot. But it is good to do with the oil hot. Like I said, it gets all the dirt stirred up in the motor and gets it out in the oil as you drain it. And just because of safety, we want to be very safe doing this. This is hot oil. And there it is. We'll let this drain. And then once it drains, we'll go up. The yellow one is the filter. We'll get up top and we'll take that off. Pair of pliers, just like the transmission filters. You can take it off, and I usually like to drain all the oil out and then pull it in hopes that it doesn't make a huge mess. Usually it will, as some of you may know. But we're going to try to keep the mess to a minimum. So once you pull your drain plug, come up here, pull your dipstick up. Then you pull it out, lay it aside. We'll clean it off before we put it back in. Just helps to let the oil drain a little faster. From the top, there's your oil filter. Customer didn't give me a fuel filter to put on it, so I'll have to see if he wants one. It looks pretty old, so but yep, let that drain a little while, and then we'll get the filter off. All right, guys, so as that drain plug is draining, or it's just dripping now, you want to pull that filter. Make sure your drain pan is lined up with your filter. That way you don't make such a mess. And we'll go up top. Guys, we're gonna use our pliers. We're gonna come in here. I have to come in from the front side here. And one day too crazily tight, and we'll break her loose. Try and spin it. You kind of, I mean, it's gonna make a mess. It's kind of inevitably gonna make a mess. So just kind of nature of the beast. We'll wash it when we're done. All right, guys. Even professionals make messes. So get your rag, kind of tuck it down in here, get as much of that oil out from under the engine, because your customer, or when you get mowing with it, it could start dribbling everywhere and making a mess. I will pressure wash this when I am done. But try and get, I mean, it's just kind of nice to give a mower back clean. All right, always, like I said on the transmissions, get this area good and clean, make sure there's no dirt. You try to not get any dirt in the engine as well. You know, it's an engine. It's a finely tuned machine, I guess is what I should say. But good and clean. A little bit of oil on your filter, on your seat gasket, and we can get her put back on. Crank her down tight with your hands. Put your drain plug back on. Put your cap back on your hose. Down there. Tighten that up and refill with oil. All right, guys, another thing you want to try and do, see that oil that ran through? You really want to try and clean that, get that nice and clean so it doesn't make a mess down the road. Grass and dust will stick to that oil and make a mess. Clean up your cap. We'll put the cap back on. A little bit of drip coming out. There's some pipe dope on there, but that's okay. Pipe dope will reseal. And then take your crescent wrenches, tighten it up without stripping it out or rounding it over, and refill with oil. All right, guys, so to put an oil in this, a lot of the older Kohlers, I would recommend 30 weight. Most everything we do where I work is 1040. All right, guys, I personally recommend anything that has zinc in the oil for your mower. They're a flat tappet motor. They're not a roller motor most generally, like a car engine is nowadays. So that new modern oil for your car doesn't have the additives in it for the older style engine that needs that high zinc formula to protect your engine the best. So as long as you're using a lawnmower oil and you're changing it regularly, you're good. All right, so we put the cord in. I'm gonna put the other cord in. We'll probably put 3/4 of it in. Then we'll wipe the stick off, check it, make sure we don't overfill it. It should take both cords, but I've sometimes seen engines not. Some of your older lawn tractor engines may only take a quart and a little less than 2 quarts. But you know, just kind of fill it up, check it, fill it up, and check it. All right, so put a quart and 3/4 in. We'll pull the funnel out and check it and see where we're at before we add the rest. All right, guys, we wiped our stick off. Put it in, pull it out. It's a little full, so we'll start it and see where it's at and go from there. There she is full, guys. Hopefully, let's try and get a good shot so you can see it there. It's right there at the bottom of that top hole, which is good. As long as it's somewhere in the middle of them 2 dots, you're good. So we're gonna run it, and then once I've run it and mow with it, I'll check it again and just verify that it is good, and we'll be all set. Next step will be we'll get underneath, we'll look at the belts, and we'll look at where the grease zerks are on this mower. Looks like there's about 4 of them all together. So I'll go over with you guys how and where they are, and we'll get them greased up and get this thing done and get it out of here. All right, guys, so there's a grease zerk here for your levers that make you go forward and reverse. There's one on this side, and then there's one way down here on this pivot for the tensioner. You want to make sure you grease these. And that one's loose, so I'll have to tighten that up. And there's one more up underneath, and let me crawl into there and I'll show you where she is. All right, guys, so there's a pivot right here for this arm. On the end of it, there's a grease zerk. There's a lot of mowers have this for the drive. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen a mower come in the shop and the customer says, "Oh, my belts, it keeps eating belts." And you crawl under there and that thing is destroyed because it's never been greased. I feel like this is one of the main things people never grease, just because they don't know they're down here, or stuff like that. So one thing you want to really do is grease. So make sure you grease that, grease the other 3, and you should have good time mowing and long life of your mower. So you never want to blow air through your filter, in my opinion. A lot of people have different opinions on this. The other thing is always install the green film filter sock. It just really helps to keep out the fine dust. So let me get this on here. You just kind of work it on there, and I'll show you how you replace it. The other thing is I would give you guys the part numbers. Here's the bag from the foam filter. You can kind of see the part number. It's some like Amazon kit that this guy got. So it's just made in China parts. Personally, I would get OEM parts. I know they're more expensive, but they just are better quality. So that's my opinion. I did notice putting the bag from the filter in the trash. There's some part numbers on here. One looks like the bad boy part number here. And this one here may be the Kohler part number. So maybe hopefully that helps somebody down the road trying to figure out what parts they need. So anything I can do to try and help, spread good vibes here. All right, guys, so on each side of this air cleaner here, you got a lock, pulls down, pull the cover off. Ooh, look at that one. Tasty. Gosh. So take your filter, line it up on your tube here. And kind of just work it down in there. This end might fight you a little bit. There we go. She's nice tight fit. So that aftermarket filter fits pretty nice. So there she is in there, and then you just put your cover back on. Reverse your latches. Latch on this side. And we throw that one in the trash. Yuck. So that's how you change the air filter. This thing's done, except for getting it out of here, and I gotta check the air pressure, which, I mean, usually on a mower like this, they're 20 pounds in the front, 15 in the rear is about where you want to be. And then I got a lift on my truck that I will lift it up and scrape the deck. So I pulled the old filter out, and I thought maybe this might help somebody down the road. Kohler part number there. You can take and screenshot, pause it and screenshot the picture. But hopefully that helps somebody to trying to figure out parts or something one day, you know, makes it a little easier. All right, guys, you're just checking the pulleys, make sure they aren't got any play in them or anything. This is a pretty new mower, so it's good. Your belts, you're gonna check this belt under here, which is your deck drive belt. Some mowers have multiple belts on the deck. This one only has one that does everything. And then there's a belt underneath, back underneath the back end where we did the transmissions. And I kind of looked at that as we had it apart in the last video. But if you haven't checked that out yet, go check that out. It's a pretty good video, pretty in-depth how to change your transmission fluid. So hopefully that helps somebody else. All right, guys, we got her jacked up here. Got some jack stand underneath for safety. We'll get underneath here and I'll show you the underside of the deck. And we did fix the bolt in the back for that support for the transmissions. You're cleaned up and she's ready to deliver back to the customer. All right, guys, so as you can see, it's got some buildup, not a lot. I already scraped that half, but it's not terrible. I've seen worse. I've seen where grass is down to here packed. You want to keep it clean. Keeps your deck, one, from rotting out. Two, it keeps your deck having suction to pull the grass up and make it stand up so it'll cut it. When a deck is packed full, it doesn't like to have very good suction. So it's just the design of the deck. You're not supposed to leave them all packed full of grass. So let me get this scraped off and so we'll be done here. All right, so there she is, pretty clean. You ain't gotta get it perfect. There's getting the majority of the big crap off. I mean, we got a pretty good pile here of old grass, so I'll get this spot right here. You want to try and clean these spindles up too. See right there where that gob of grass is on that spindle. There you go. I get some of that crap off her spindles. When you get it holds heat in the spindle. So you try to clean that off. Keep your spindles clean. See how your levers are touching? You don't want that. That makes it hard to mow, and it's not right. I'm going to show you here, guys, how to adjust that and fix that to where it's back out apart like that, where it should be. All right, so here, that bolt there is your stop. That's what keeps your levers up here from coming in. So you can see right there where this little angle here is touching that bolt. So you're gonna run that bolt in a little bit, which in turn will make the top angle out. All right, guys, we got her done. She's all loaded up and ready to go back. Deliver it back this afternoon to the customer and see how happy he is with it. We got her all tuned up, and we'll see you on the next video.